Good morning. Welcome to Stamp and Chat. Very exciting day today. Lots of things happening. New catalogues going live. Celebration going live. Okay, let me just check I'm in the right place. And share this over to my group. Hoping we'll have some people join live. Maybe to stamp with me today. Share. How are we this morning? How are you all doing with the news last night of another major lockdown happening in here in the UK? Okay, I'm just sharing that over to my group. Might have to do a bit of adjusting once I catch up. Bit of shadowing going on. There's a couple of you here. Do say hello if you're stopping by. Morning, Ellie. How are you doing, honey? Homeschooling today. You're going to catch up with me later. Okay, no problem at all. You can come back on the replay. I think I might just move in a little bit. I don't know why that notification has come up on my phone. I hope I've put it on Do Not Disturb. Sorry, I'm just trying to zoom in a bit and it won't let me. I don't normally get notifications pop up on my phone. And I can see there's a couple of other people here with me, so yeah, lots happening in the world of Stampin' Up today. Might just move my stand that way a smidge. Yeah, lots going on. I've got new mini catalogue going live today. This is my lovely dog-eared copy. And of course, Celebration, both of which I can now flip open without the fear of, I've been nervous that every time I pop these in front of you that I'm going to accidentally flip them open. I'm really anxious that I've got comments coming up on my screen today. Morning, Jacqueline, how are you? Yes, Happy New Year to you as well. The new year has come with new challenges again, thanks to COVID, but as always, we will battle on through and continue with everyday life as much as we can. So I guess you're not working, Jacqueline. Shop is probably closed. I'm just going to tilt up a little bit. As you can hear, I've got Alfie joining me this morning. That's why he's come up, because he's wondering who I'm talking to. So welcome to card number 4 of the coming home round of Stamp and Chat. Gosh, I'm not doing very well with this today. It's because it won't let me zoom in. I want to zoom in a bit, but it won't let me do it. Yeah, round 4, card number 4. These are the previous cards. This is last week's card. So a congratulations card. This was the first card that we did. And then this was card number 2 on week 2. So a wedding or christening card. So today, let's just move those out of the way. We're doing another one that would, I think, be suitable as a masculine card. And it features a couple of the little houses and the car, and it's kind of, I feel like it is masculine because of the colours. There are no sort of flowers on here. So Jacqueline, you haven't heard yet about work, but you're shielding with your mum. Okay. Oh, bless you. You won't be going far then. Gonna have to keep crafting to keep you busy. Oh, something else popping up on my Mac now. Morning, Ali. You're back again. You're listening while you put the decorations away and do the house. But I know, I pulled some of mine down this morning. There's always a bit of controversy about which day they come down in our house. Jason's quite superstitious, so we have to pick the right day. We want to make sure that we don't leave any up after they should be. So we don't have loads and loads of decorations around the house, but obviously we've got a few dotted around, some lights to come down. The lights outside of the house stay all year because they're kind of around the top of the house, so you can't see them when they're not on. So they've all got to be unplugged and sorted. So yeah, lots to think about today. So yesterday I held my online mini catalogue launch, which was really fun. I went live a couple of times yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening, and shared some products and some projects, and I will show you a few more when we're done. Hopefully I'm not going to be waffling on for too long today, so that we'll get a bit of time to flick through the catalogue. So if you're stamping with me live this morning, you will need obviously your stamp set and your blends pens, and you need to pull out card pack number 4. You will need a greeting as well. I've used a long one on my card here, and I've used the new many messages stamps, which are in the mini catalogue. They are on page, I had my page and then I lost it. Page 35. They are £20. Let's show you them here. Fabulous set of messages, greetings, sentiments, however you like to call them, all on one stamp, and you've got a die that cuts all of them out in one go as well, which is really cool. So they are available on a bundle, so it's £46.75 if you buy the stamps and the dies together, and that will entitle you to a free celebration item, which is always good, because who doesn't love something free? And our little mini book is bursting with gorgeous free products for you, including this one, which I did share with you last week, a project that I'd made. So lots of stamps, lots of papers, and we'll have a look at that after. But first, I think we should get stamping. So locate pack number 4. It's going to look something like this. Your card bases were all separate. You will have 2 Whisper White pieces. The larger one is for the inside of your card, so I'm going to pop those to one side. The slightly smaller one is your front layer. You have a bit of scenery, a muddy hill, which is what we've got plenty of that around here at the moment. It's so wet and mucky out. But I think, when did I speak to you last? Was it last Tuesday when Jason was putting the tap in? I think it was. Gosh, that was a whole week ago. Jason was putting the tap in our dog wash. And we've now got a shower attachment for it. So it means when we go for the you-know-what down the lane, I can't say it because he's here and he'll think that we're going. When I come back, I can pop him in the Belfast sink, shower him down, pop him up on the side, and then towel dry him off. So I'm really glad to have that facility back again, because we used to have, in the old house, we used to have the utility where I used to wash him off in there. So you should have these other pieces in here and a couple of die cuts. Now this edge I created using the curvy dies, which have been available as like a pre-order and early release, but they are now actually live. They're in the mini catalogue, and I've used this lovely little leafy image and then this border here, which is fabulous. So I've already pre-cut those ready, just to save a bit of time, because there's quite a lot of colouring in to do today. So first things first, pop those to one side and bring in my little foam mat, and you'll need to locate some scrap Whisper White ready to do our stamping. Now I also wanted to add a variation on this card today, because you all had a little sponge wedge, but we've had a fabulous new product arrive in our catalogue. These are our blending brushes, and I thought I would create a bit of a blue sky with this one today. You can do the same with your little sponge, but the blending brushes, they're just so soft and smooth. They give just like quite a sheer finish. They're beautiful. So from your stamp set, you need to mount up the large long house. You'll need a Momento Black ink, which I know most of you have. And you will also need, for now, to mount up the smallest house of them all as well. And we're just going to stamp those onto our scrap of Whisper White. Don't think that's going to fit that way. Did I miss the middle bit then? So when I've finished here, I'm going to be heading over to the house, grabbing some breakfast. That wasn't the bit. It did miss a bit in the middle, but it's going to be fine. I'm going to grab some breakfast and pull down a few more decorations. What I tend to do is like wander around the house, pick something up and then pop it back on the dining room table, ready to bring the boxes down from the loft. And then Jason will have to help me get the tree out later. I can go up in the loft. We've still got the ladder up there. I can go up in the loft and get the boxes down so I can take all the decorations off of the tree. I mean, my tree is pretty minimal. I don't go over the top. I keep it really simple. Usually just silver, white and glass baubles, and that's it. Don't put a lot else on there. Okay, those two images are stamped. While we've got the ink out, find your lamppost stamp and we can ink up one of those as well. We'll just pop that one up there. We're going to have to fussy cut that one. Of course, if you don't have the dies, then you will have to trim around your houses, which I might do today. But if you have the dies, then you can cut those out. And actually, while we're stamping, grab a scrap of your pool party cardstock and then mount up your little car as well. And we'll ink that one up. And there is a lovely die that cuts this one out. So those of you that homeschool, do you have like set hours? Are you schooling all day? Do you have to school all day? Or is it just like 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon? I'd be intrigued to know. And then you should have a strip of just Jade cardstock. And you'll need to mount up, it's a bit crooked, need to mount up your smoke that comes from the chimney, because we're going to create another hedgerow that's going to sit in front of the house. So let's get all the stamping done out of the way. So Ali, when are you back at work then? When are you starting work? So I'm just creating a row of these like I did before. Do you remember last week I made hedges? We also made clouds with this stamp as well. I think that will be long enough. And then just in between, where there's a little gap, just going to go in and pop in one of those spirals, just so it looks, it's filling it in. I mean, I wouldn't say it actually looks like a hedge, but it's the next best thing. And it's utilising that smoke stamp. Okay, we need to cut that one out. Let's trim this one off. And I need to trim that one and hand cut that one. And we'll do our greeting later. Pop those to one side. Let's bring in the mini boss. The little baby of the family. What am I looking for? Dies. Dies would be good. And this has actually gone live today, this little machine. It's gone live today, so you can purchase yours. It's £56, I believe, could be £56.75. Let me look it up. It's in the very back. £56 exactly. It's an absolute little treat. I love it. I'm just looking for some pieces of washi tape. And we'll run this through. I'm just going to snip this off because Whisper White is scarce at the moment and I am not wasting any of it. Not that I do generally, because I don't. Let's just tape these down. Now we are probably going to get a massive wobble. Let's move you over there a minute. It's easiest to do this before you locate it onto the machine. So I will for sure announce my winner of my giveaway of one of these machines. I will be doing that by lunchtime. So if you placed an online order with me last month, please check your mailbox for a notification to say that you were a winner. Okay, now this could be wobbly. I'm going to do it off the table because I've taped my paper down. My paper moves around frantically. It does have little feet on the bottom of the end, and when you've got it on a desk, it is more stable. But when you've got it on top of a piece of paper that's moving around, it wobbles a bit. So just put that one back so we don't lose it, and then we'll run the large house through, and then we'll do our colouring. Am I tearing that? It's all hooked up. I think it's just tearing the bit that was on there. I mean, as much as I love Christmas, I always find it's nice to get back to some kind of routine, daily routine. You know, I actually woke up this morning and I knew what day it was. I knew it was Tuesday. I knew it was Facebook Live. I knew it was new catalogue launch day. But some of the days have just like rolled into another, and I've woken up wondering what day it is. And the sun is out, which is lovely. Bit of blue sky out there, which makes all the difference. Okay, just cut these two houses out and then we can colour them in. Pulled a bit of that off, but that won't hurt. Okay, that's that bit of die cutting done. Move those out of the way now. And let's take a seat. Ali, you're starting your new job on Tuesday. That's exciting. That's a different way to start the year. Just going to see if that will rub off. Don't know what that is, but it won't hurt. It's not going to hurt. Let's do some colouring. Let's put those to one side. So I'm using just Jade, oh, I was going to say Old Olive, Crumb Cake and Pool Party, and these are all the light versions. So they come in a pair, so you buy a light and a dark together, and they're alcohol markers. They are absolutely brilliant. I was colouring with these last night for my live for the launch, and they're just fabulous, really great pens. Let's start with the roof and just colour this in. Now ideally you need the light and the dark to create your shadowing, to give you depth, but the budget for this round of Stampin' Chat would not stretch to a light and a dark. I gave the option Some of you chose the light and the dark pens, but I didn't want to make it too expensive. And talking of Stampin' Chat rounds, we've got a new one beginning, not next week, the week after, and booking closes today. So if you want to join in, you need to let me know today, because I'm going to be placing my order for the products. And I'm going to grab my piece of paper in a minute, but I want to say it's £33. It includes the floating and fluttering stamp set and a Seaside Spray ink pad. It includes a bit of denim ribbon and some DSP. Obviously your 5 card kits and your envelopes, which are also very scarce at the moment. And it includes the 5 lives that get recorded over to YouTube as well, sent over to YouTube, so that you can catch up whenever you can. So you don't have to stamp live. You've always got that opportunity to catch up when it suits you. So this is where you need the dark version of the pen now to blend them in. I kind of just like to go over a second time and kind of add a bit of extra depth. Just missed a bit there. Oh, while we're here, we'll colour the door. Alf is on a mission today, wandering around. Bless him. He's had lots of lovely WALKS's lately. Let's go just Jade next, because Jason's been home and we've been going out daily together and finding doing different walks around here, because there are so many places that we can walk. Don't think I can zoom in at this point, guys. Let me try. It won't let me zoom in. Yeah, so we've done some lovely walks. We've had some laughs along the way as well. What day was it? I think it was Sunday. So we went a new way. So when we go down our lane, there's lots of different directions we can walk in. And we just decided to go a different way down one of the bridle paths. And we were just like wandering along, and it was quite wet. Obviously we've had a lot of water and the fields are quite flooded. And we were kind of like wandering along the bottom of this field, and then all of a sudden there was like a really strong bramble growing out of the ground and going back into the ground. So it was like a loop, and I got my foot caught in it and I went absolutely flying. And you know, these things, they kind of happen in slow-mo, and I went like flying right. I was behind Jason and I ended up in front of him, and I went down really hard as well. My hands went down first and I landed on my knees, and I got up and my bobble hat was down almost by my nose. And of course I had mud all over my hands, so I kind of stood up, held my hands in the air and just looked at Jason, and he just burst out laughing. It was funny, and of course then I burst out laughing. So we stood there for about 5 minutes, roaring at my expense. I didn't hurt myself, but it was just the fact that I had tried to stop myself, and obviously I went a lot further than I would have if I'd have just tripped. So I'm just going to go back over this to make it a little bit darker. Yeah, we had a good old laugh about that. We even laughed about it later in the day as well. Nothing like a good laugh, guys. It just puts everything right, don't you agree? You know the kind of laugh when you cry. Bless me, I will say. I didn't do any damage, didn't have any bruises or anything. But it did create a good chuckle. Just have a bit of... So there's no kind of like proper colouring technique with this. I'm just physically colouring in. Let's do the windows. If anyone new is joining, I can see there's a few people on. Please do come and say hello, just so that I know you're here. It'd be lovely to know who is watching. And obviously, if you are not part of my team or you're not a demonstrator, I would much appreciate if you could share this over to your Facebook page, because that way it means that other people that I don't know might get to see it as well, which could generate me some new followers and new people who want to join in the fun. I'm just going into the top corners of these windows. I love the noise these blends make as well when you colour. Okay, I think that's that one. Pop that one to one side and we'll just do this one really quickly. So apart from getting out in the fresh air, we haven't really done a lot. We've done a bit in the garden, but not a lot. It's not very motivating out there when it's cold and damp. And yesterday I was just so cold all day. It's a different kind of cold, wasn't it? I mean, we've been out walking and it's been frosty and really icy down the lane, but it's a different kind of cold. You know, it's not a freezing kind of cold, if that makes sense. But yesterday was like a damp kind of cold. It got into my bones yesterday and I just couldn't stay warm. Had to layer up. Layer and layer. I even had my thermal vest on yesterday. How sad is that? But one's got to be warm. My circulation isn't that great. That doesn't really help me. So my hands and feet are always cold. So I just layer up. Light the fire and layer up. Hello Julie, how nice of you to join us all the way from New Zealand. Catching a few minutes before bed. Oh yeah, I'd love you to come back and watch the replay. So how are things in New Zealand? What's your situation right now? So we're here in the UK, we've just gone into full lockdown again. Schools are closed. It's not a very good situation to be in for a lot of people. So I do think about the people who struggle being at home, people who don't have the best of home life as it is. You know, I am honestly thankful that I'm in a situation where I don't have to worry too much about what's going on with COVID. Obviously, I want to keep my family safe, and I'm really careful, just like we all are. But where we live here, you know, we're not in a city, we're very rural, we very rarely see people anyway. Even when we go down the lane to do the WALK, we don't really see people. So it's not as if we're mixing and mingling with people. So I kind of feel like definitely in our own little bubble here. And although it means, you know, we can't go out, I miss going out for coffee and things like that. We're not the kind of people that go out and eat dinner weekly, regularly. So that kind of thing, we don't go to the pub very often. That won't make a lot of difference to us. But I do really feel for those people that don't have their own garden that they can go and wander around in. And because I think when you're out in the fresh air, it makes you think, and I think it lifts the spirit. So I will be sparing a thought for all those people, and I'm hoping that I can come on here a bit more often, share some lovely new products from the mini catalogue, and just connect with more people and give people a reason to, you know, maybe pull out some things and be creative and take your mind off of everything that's going on. So my two little houses are coloured in. Can you see on this one how if you go around the outside and don't colour in as much on the middle, that it does give you a bit of depth. Okay, onto our card. Pens to one side for the moment. Let's do a bit of fussy cutting. Let's cut out a lamppost. So Julie, I have a girl in my team who is from New Zealand, and she came back to visit family. What month would that have been? A lot earlier than what she was planning to, and she's only been back 2 or 3 weeks. She came over for a few months. Had to isolate for a couple of weeks when she got to you, but I don't think your situation has been as bad as it is here. But I think it's this new strain is causing a lot of problems at the moment because the virus is spreading a lot quicker. This one's tricky to cut out if you don't have nails like me at the moment. But it's mainly going on a white background, so it's not going to show. Already die cut my car. Love that little car. And then I'm going to cut out this whole hedge, this little hedgerow. And then if I need to trim any off, I can do that afterwards. So, yeah, I had a lovely evening stamping live with some of my customers. So I opened up a booking for a little mini catalogue launch that I was doing through a private Facebook group. So we had real fun last night. I really enjoyed connecting with people, and from your comments, everybody enjoyed it as well. Okay, just went a bit skew-iff then. There we go. So I think that's all of our pieces that we need. Let's start sticking some things together. So make sure you've got the right piece of Whisper White. It's the smaller piece out of the two. And we'll start by popping on our hill. We'll call it a hill. It's our scenery. So a bit of Tombow. I haven't had mine going this morning. It might be a bit slow to start with. Bit stuck in there, a bit dried in, and that's what happens with Tombow. It kind of seals over on the edge. I keep forgetting that I've turned my camera on my phone and that I need to be working in the middle of my grid paper. I'm used to working over this side. I think that will do about there. And then you've got a strip of this lovely shaded spruce designer paper. This was from the classic Christmas pack that was available on it was a limited edition release that came out with the Curvy celebrations. Sadly, that finished yesterday. We'll stick that one straight on. That finished yesterday, well, last night, just before the new catalogue went live. So it's no longer available, but I still have some of it and I will still be using it to use it all up. So we'll just pop that layer on there. That's kind of like a base for our house to be on. And just snip off the edges. Next, I think we can pop this straight onto our card base. So pull in your Just Jade card base. I think I pre-scored it for you. If I didn't, apologies on that one. So just fold it down the middle. And we're having it landscape. And we can add this layer onto our card. Ready to add on all the extra pieces. So how many of you have actually had a look, managed to take a bit of time to look at the new catalogue? If you are on my email list of customers, you will have received an email this morning with links, so you can view those online. Let's pop our house in. And that one's going just on this line here, like that. It's going straight down, no dimensionals, because we're going to raise up the little hedge. Let's see, he's gone to lie down on his bed now. He's having a little shake, little wander. Nice settling down. So actually I'm going to lift that up a little bit. I know I've stuck it, but I think I need it a little bit higher, like that. And then I'm just going to figure out how long I want this to be. I think if I use that little edge there and chop it off somewhere about here, and then pop some dimensionals under. I'm going to have to trim these. Oh, I've got some edge pieces left. We'll use these up. So I had an order arrive yesterday that kind of went missing. It was due out for delivery. And then UPS emailed me to say, well, actually, it was due out for delivery and it didn't arrive. And then the next day, the tracking said nothing. So I knew it had gone into limbo somewhere. And then I had another email to say that it was going to be coming the following week. But it actually arrived yesterday, which I'm really thankful for. It said it was coming today and it came a day early, even though it is about a week late. But it's not a problem. It's here, that's the main thing. So I have a whole stack of cardstock to keep me going for a while. So pop a dimensional under the car and we'll lay that one down. So in my order was some mini dimensionals, which are my favourites. We'll place that one just there, so straight, like that. So you've just parked up outside the house. And then we can add in our lamppost. Bit of Tombow on the bottom, not too much, and then just a bit on the top, just to anchor it down. And we'll wedge that one, if I can get under that. Don't think I can. Just want to snip off that white bit there. And we'll just pop that in there, like that, next to the house. What we could actually do is just colour that in as well. And then our little house, we're just going to slide down under here. So the little house on the hill, there are plenty of those around here. Lots of hills, got the Malvern Hills here, which are beautiful. As you look across into the hills, you can see little hidden, oh, that wobbled. That's the good thing about Tombow, it does wobble until it's ready to stick. Yeah, lots of little hidden houses in the hills. Just take that bit of Tombow that's smudged. And then in your kits, I gave you 2 die cut pieces. These are from the Curvy Celebrations. And we're just going to add these in just for a little bit of extra interest. So just a small one at one end. And just take that edge off my Tombow. Everything's sticking to me now. Just going to pop a tiny little bit. If you are careful with Tombow, you can control it so that not too much comes out, because it can be a disaster if it all squidges everywhere. And I think with this one, I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on there. I could do with my take your pick tool with my putty end, really, for picking up pieces like this. Oop, and we just pop that one there like that. Just turn you that way a little bit. There we go. do you know what I forgot to do? I was going to use this, wasn't I, on my sky. And I think it's too late to do that now. But never mind, I'm going to show you on a scrap of paper how it works anyway. I was going to add a bit of blue up here to the sky, and now I'm just looking at it and thinking, I didn't do that. It's a good job I'm only human, isn't it? So you have a long skinny strip of Pool Party. I'm going to cut it just short of the width of my card base. And you can either use, I might use the classic label, you can either use the triple banner. I'm just going to go and grab my classic label because this one will be easier because it's such a skinny strip. And we can literally just feed it in to the end. I'm going to have to hold it to me so I can see. I can't see today, guys. And just snip out a little fishtail. If I stand up, that would be easier. So a handy little punch, and then we'll lay that one down. A little bit of Tombow along here. And we'll just pop that one centrally in that bottom panel with an equal overhang, like so. Now you need to take a scrap of Whisper White. Let's bring in my foam mat. Julie, you're originally from just south of Edinburgh, but oh, you moved to New Zealand 25 years ago. Goodness me, you must be loving it there. To be there that long, it's somewhere I would love to visit. Absolutely love to. I hear great things about it. So yeah, you know, I think some people are going to suffer more than others with this lockdown. It's going to be hard for some, but we have to do this. We'll find our way out of it eventually. With the new vaccines coming in, obviously that gives us a ray of hope, but we have to do something fast, and I do believe that the only way to stop this new strain spreading is for us to be locked down. So Memento ink, and I've pulled out from the many messages this one: hoping your day is full of love, laughter and joy. What a lovely greeting. I love how it's such a sweet font as well. I'm going to stand back up for this one, and we're just going to ink this up onto this skinny scrap like so. Just going to snip the end off and bring in my plates. Oh, I have to use the big one. I was forgetting that because we need to use the messages die, which is this one here. It does get a little bit bendy with the plate. And I'm using this long one down here. So obviously this won't go through my mini machine. So let's tape it down. To my plate, and I'm going to do it that way round and then run it through that way. Got a bit of washi ready. Can hear a plane going over. Okay, I'm just going to run that one through really quickly. So, is this on anyone's wish list, the many messages? It's fabulous. I've been using it so much. So much. So, just pull off that piece. Carefully pull it out from the washi. Yeah, it's such a great set. Such a usable one. And let's pop on a Probably use up this little corner. Let's cut that in half and layer this one up. That's that sheet done. I wonder whether a large one will fit. Just about. I think that's enough. Alf is talking to me. Don't know if you can hear him. Okay, we want this one to be in the middle as much as possible. It's hard to tell when both of your hands are in the way, but I think somewhere about there, if I lay it gently, if I need to pull it up, then I can. I think that's okay. Pretty central. And there we go, that's our card done. So nothing too tricky, I don't think. Another lovely way of using the coming home. I am doing a Facebook Live, and don't be so rude. He's talking to me, he wants to go O-U-T, but he's going to have to wait. I did take him out before I came live. We wandered around the garden, so he's just creating a fuss because I'm talking, and he's seeking attention. So another great way of using the coming home stamp set in a non-Christmassy way. I hope you've enjoyed the card. Let's do something on the inside. Now, what did I plan on using? I thought I'd use something a bit different. So I've pulled in the Approaching Perfection stamp set. This is in our Celebration book, and you'll find it. Is my camera moving? I feel like we've slid out of shot slightly, which isn't the best. I'm going to move over a little bit. So it's here on page 6, and it's free with a £45 order. So if you were fancying the Many Messages stamp set as a bundle with the dies, it's £46.75 for both of those. So if you bought that, you could earn yourself this stamp set for free. And I've mounted up, it's a red rubber, I've just mounted up the Happy Birthday. I've not inked this one yet, so we might have to have a little practice because it will be first time use. And I always like to, before I directly use a brand new stamp, ink it up and stamp it off a couple of times. Just in case, being a new stamp, whether there's anything kind of on the surface from manufacturing. What we also need to do, I'm going to have to stand up for this one, is see how straight it compares to the sticker. I always like to do that, so I'm just lining it up, and I can see it's pretty straight. So when I go to stamp it down on here, I just have to get my stamp pretty straight, and then it should be okay. So that kind of lines up with the bottom of my paper. There we go. Happy Birthday. And I chose this one because I thought this card is another kind of quite masculine card, and I thought this greeting, it's quite bold, and I thought it would suit a masculine card. I don't know if you agree on that. I quite like fancy script for female things and kind of non-fancy for the masculine. So let's just stick this one in. And then we are nearly done. And then we just have one more week left of this. And I don't know whether I might go live on Saturday, go early, so that I can do an extra live next week with new products. And by going live Saturday, it means that I'm here connecting with you all again on an extra day. So that's our card finished. Let me just bring in a little scrap of Whisper White. Let's pop the lid on the Memento and just show you the blending brush. Julie, you've got no COVID in the community. So anyone returned to New Zealand has to go into quarantine immediately, yeah. My friend Cherie had to do that when she came back. I can't remember what month it was that she came back. Got some bits on here, but it won't matter because I'm just going to show you this. What's on the back of here? Let's turn that over. So we just dip it in. I like to start off of my paper and then work your way on. And you just get this lovely... He's heard something out there, like soft effect that you can build up to whatever you desire. I'm going to show you a card that I created last night using this effect. So like when you hold it against the white, you can see the difference that it creates. That would have looked really nice on this card, and I'm annoyed that I didn't remember to do it, but the brushes come in a pack of 3. I've got a pack here. So they come like this in a pack of 3. They are on page 70 of the catalogue. Just going to check the price. I want to say £11.75. £11.25 for 3. And you don't need one for every colour in our spectrum. You just need to keep like one for the blues, one for the pinks, maybe one for the neutrals. So that's how I will be using mine. Let me bring in the card, grab my box of things that I made yesterday. So last night I focused on the Always in My Heart suite, which is at the beginning of your mini brochure. And it's from the Love You Always suite. I think this is one of my favourites. One of my favourite sets, collections. And you've got 2 stamp sets in here. So the Always in My Heart, I think it comes across as a bit Valentine-y, anniversary, but I think it's got so many different uses. Let's move these out of the way. And this is the card that I made last night. And I used the blending brush just to create a nice soft background on there. And I used the stamp. So it's a two-stamp, I'm going to get it right in a minute, 2-step stamp. So you have an outline image and then a background image. And you can, I showed everybody last night how you can see the difference between the two. So if you just do the 1 step, or if you do the 2-step, and the same with the leaves, you can add different coloured backgrounds to them. And the dies are brilliant because you get multiples. So this is the die set. You get this gorgeous, intricate heart flourish. And then for the leaves and the flowers, you get 2 of each. So when you're cutting out, it's going to make it a lot quicker for you to do that. You've got another beautiful border here that I've used lots, as you can tell by all the different colours that are still left in there. And you also get this die, which cuts out outlines that will work on top of these as well. And I'll show you that on a project. So that's what I did last night. And then I also shared this that I did for my team a couple of weeks ago. So it's a little gift card holder, and you can see the difference here where I've used the dies, and then here I've used the stamps for the leaves. And I think it's this one. If I pull off the belly band, I've just created a little pouch inside where you could pop in some money or a gift card. This is from the new Oval Occasions bundle, which is on page 65. I'll show you that quickly. I'm not going to show you loads of things because I want to be focusing some extra lives on particular products. So this is our new double oval punch. And then we've also got a coordinating stamp set, which I absolutely love. And for the bundle, it's just £31.50, which is such great value. Love how they've turned that into a tag, really sweet. And then one final card using this stamp set, which I thought would make a lovely kind of wedding or anniversary card as well. And this is using the new Painted Texture embossing folder, which is from the, I think it's Art Floral suite. So that was something I shared last night. Did a demonstration and made that card for everybody. And then also, I shared something with this. I mean, who doesn't love a Roo? How sweet is this set? And this is the card that I made. So hopping by just to say hi. And then this just pops out and says, just for you. So we made a cute card. I think I might have one that I've made previously. Let me grab it. I think I showed you it last week. I think I did actually. So it was this one here. Used the double oval punch and then some of the dies from the Always in My Heart collection. So this one here is a new DSP. It's from the Celebration catalogue, so it's free when you spend £45. This stamp set is only £15, which I think is amazing value. It comes with a set of dies, and what I love about the dies is when it cuts out the kangaroo, it also cuts the little slot in the pouch, and it also gives you this die to cut out that panel, which I think is really clever. And all of the dies cut out all of the pieces, all of the elements you see, even the butterfly and the heart, you can see they're in there. I need to get some more magnet sheets. I'm running low, which means my dies are increasing. So let's have a quick look, see if I can find it quickly, and I can tell you how much the bundle is. She says flicking frantically, and I know I'm probably not going to find it. Everything else I've written down what page it's on. So it's on page 17, and for the bundle of the stamps and the dies, it's just £34, which I think is really great value. And this would be great for young people cards, older people's cards, anniversaries, just birthdays in general, Valentine's, new babies, welcoming new babies into the world. So I think it's a really, really good all-rounder. And the final one I just wanted to share with you is the Make and Take from last night, and it uses the Floating and Fluttering stamp set. That is on page 61 of the catalogue, and that is the stamp set that I'm featuring, I'm just finding you the page, in the next round of Stamp and Chat. So it's £33, I think, she says. It includes the stamp set, and it includes a Seaside Spray ink pad. You'll be getting some of this paper as well, and some of the navy denim, Night of Navy denim ribbon. And today is the last day to book for that. So that will be the next round of Stamp and Chat. But this is just one that I made last night. This was a make and take. So I posted out kits to everybody who took part in my online catalogue launch, and then they made this one along with me. Obviously they didn't have stamped images, but I gave them die cut pieces. So one of the die cuts in the set is this lovely butterfly. So they had a layered butterfly to pop down instead of my stamped one. So I think that's it for now. Let's leave you with today's card. I will be popping information on my blog this morning about catalogues going live. If you don't already have a demonstrator and you would like a catalogue in the post, please get in touch with me. Now's a really good time to think about joining Stampin' Up. So if that's something that you're interested in as well, then please do ask any questions you might have. And I'm not going to waffle on anymore about that. I talked a lot about that last time. So please get in touch if there's anything I can help you with. And in the meantime, everybody, please just stay safe, take care, and look after your loved ones. And I will be back very soon, hopefully to lift your spirits and keep you inspired and get you crafting. So bye for now, everybody.